And we're recording this time. Didn't want to forget that again. Alrighty. See, so um introductions. I see we have someone I don't recognize. Kamira. Is it Kamira? Name correctly?
Sorry, I was fumbling with my mic. Yes, my name is Kamira.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Would you like to go ahead and just give a little introduction of your name, your what year, major, just a little?
My name is Kamira. I'm in my junior year. My major is integrative studies. I'm doing media informatics, marketing, and German as
Cool.
minors.
Cool. I'm Adam Wiley. I'm Mr. President, at least this year. I'm a history major and a German major, and now I have a focus in English, as I just mentioned.
Show off.
And that's me. I'm a junior. Yeah, I am a junior. Alrighty. If you want to go, see, I'll just Dr. Fowler, I assume she's in your. Or do you have Kamira in class?
Yeah, Kamira, we had 101 together. Am I right, or am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in Professor Ford's class right now.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, you guys are hanging on tough. I appreciate you all so much in that class. I know it's been a rough go.
And then if we just go, I'm just going to read across the top of my screen here. Megan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Megan. I'm the vice president. My major is Spanish, and I have a minor in studio arts. I'm also a junior. Will probably be here more than I should, another semester and everything. But yeah.
Mildred, you're next on my screen.
I am Mildred. I'm a sophomore. I'm a journalism major. I don't have a minor yet. I joined the German club because I had German 101 class with Dr. Feiler, and one of my favorite classes, definitely. And I've been sticking around since.
Oh.
And we are happy to have Mildred. Outside of our officers, I think you've been like the most faithful club member we have. Let's see. Kendra.
Hi, I'm Kendra. I'm the English major on the creative writing track, and I do German for fun. So it's my focus, and yeah, and I will maybe be gone after this semester, or I will maybe stick around. We'll just, whatever happens, happens.
Go with the flow these days. And Kendra is also our unofficial proofreader for all of our Constitution edits we're doing right now. Alrighty, and Ashley, I think you're the last one up.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a secretary. I'm a French major and a German minor. And yeah.
See, I was thinking about taking a French class this fall since I need the extra hours, but
Good.
I'm not sure I can though now because I'm doing an English focus. I'm not sure I can fit it into my schedule.
Do it.
But
try your best. French is easy.
If the French club ever gets active again, I'll probably pop my head in there maybe.
Yes.
Alrighty. So let's see. That's our introductions. Now, again, Ashley, if you'd like to go ahead and read the minutes from the last meeting real quick.
Yes. All right. So on February 18th at 6 p.m., we watched Offline, Das Leben ist kein Bonuslevel. Last meeting, we edited the club's constitution. Dr. Fowler got 2 presenters for the faculty lecture. Megan made a Twitter account, and there is currently $220.67 in the bank account.
All righty. Damien is not here, but we haven't spent any money, so the bank account balance should be the same. Let's see. How's most of it? All right, so the trivia night, which you guys probably all got the email. Kendra and I were almost, okay, Kendra was finished with her half. I was finishing my half of the questions. We were going to use Kahoot, but Kahoot went kablooey, and now we don't have any questions left. We lost all of them, not sure how. So we're doing that next Thursday. Same time it was supposed to be this week, so 6 o'clock. Yeah, so it is still happening. It is still happening. See, and then faculty lectures, we don't really have anything new on that. Megan's working on IT and working on getting the flyer made. Yes, Megan.
Yeah, I totally thought this morning I was ready to text you, but I was driving so late. So I was like, I'll wait. And then I totally forgot. But yesterday I got it fixed. So today I started on it and we should have it by tomorrow.
Good. Okay. And then
Yes.
I'll go ahead. I'll make sure. I think I'm gonna run it by. Yeah, we'll have time. I'm gonna run it by Dr. Larson and the other name. Can't remember the other name right now. Bizzani. Yeah, I'm gonna run it by them. Make sure like all the information on there is correct, and we're good to go. Alrighty. And then that's that. New business. Okay, so our next meeting. We're going to just go ahead and do talk about the next meeting date as well. The next meeting is technically April 1st, April Fool's Day. So my question is, do you guys still want to do the meeting on that day? Because we do not have classes on that day. Campus is still open, but we don't have classes on that Thursday. So would you prefer to do it the next week, April the 8th? I'm getting a nod from Dr. Filer.
For me, yeah. I mean, just in case.
Yeah, because like classes are, and campus is open, but classes are canceled. So I'm like thinking, it's pretty much a day off. Let's go ahead and, alrighty. So how does that sound? April 8th. Alrighty.
Seems good.
Alrighty, and then that also I wanted to go ahead in this meeting, go ahead and like confirm the date for the elections meeting. That way we can like have that as an affirmed date. I don't know. I just thought it might be good to have that done as early as possible. So at least from what I remember, well, okay, I mean, our last election meeting was a bit odd because it was not at the time of the year it was supposed to be and everything, coronavirus and all that fun stuff. So I'm pretty sure the last time though was like the week before finals week. In that week, it was the last meeting of the semester. And that would be April 29th. How does that sound? Will that work? Is there any reason why any of you believe that would not be a good date? You can use the thumbs up if you're good with the date. Either in your screen or the reaction image. There we go. Alrighty, so alrighty. I believe that's everything except for, you know what I didn't put on here? The next Kino Abend. The next Kino Abend. That is this month. I can't remember the date off the top of my head right now. I have it in here somewhere, but that's Damien's area. And since he isn't here, I guess can't really talk too much about that anyway. Let's see, where's the date from? Should be in the February meeting, the second date. Or it's not. That's okay. I think it was. Sorry.
Are you asking when the next Kino Abend is?
Yes. Do you have it in the?
I think it's April 15th at 6 p.m.
April 15th. Oh, so it's in April, not March. I'm sorry, right? We were talking about April dates. Never mind. It is in April, not March. Okay, never mind. That's not an issue. It's not till April, so we don't have to talk about it. See, past Adam knew what was going on. Present Adam just freaked out over something. Alrighty. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that we had, like, officially over stuff going on to cover. I want to leave the majority of this meeting open to do Constitution stuff. Yay. See, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen once do I have it up? Okay, I have Microsoft Teams up, but I do not have. All right, if you want to go, if you have access to the Microsoft Teams, and if you want to go look at that, I'll also be pulling it up on my screen. But if you want to join on actual, go to Microsoft Teams and join the Word document that we have there, shared there. All right, got it up. Share screen. Which screen is it? That one? That looks like it, right? I have so many windows open. Alrighty. There you go. No, better in English right now, I think. Okay, let's see. So let's see, the last meeting we got through the first article and we started on the second article. I think we got through the discrimination policy. The member expectations I had not given a base for yet. I do have, let's see, is that the expectations? Yeah. Okay. This is what I had worked on as a possible. I literally just did this today, so it might be a little out of sorts. All right, so membership expectations. Though there's no GPA requirement for being a member of Deutschklub, all members are expected to prioritize their academic responsibilities over club activities and maintain good academic standing. Put that there just because I think that's a sort of saying we should promote as a club, especially an academic club, that we should be prioritizing our academics over club activities. Now, as officers, that's another issue that we'll be talking about later. Alrighty. So long it does not interfere with their academic performance and personal, physical, or mental health. Okay. I'm just gonna that. Physical or mental health, Deutschklub members should participate in club meetings and activities for which there will be no mandatory attendance or participation requirements. So that's sort of because I don't want to, I mean, you guys can give your opinion on this too. I don't want to talk off your ears. That I think that we should keep it to where we don't require attendance or anything. I feel like the way we have it now, where you can just join and then come to meetings, come to activities when you can, it sort of keeps the stress off of being a club member. And then club members are encouraged to support one another's mutual interests in German language and culture. Members are also encouraged to foster their relationships with other club members in order to create unity and enhance the overall experience of the membership. Members' interpersonal behavior is expected to be in line with NKU's Code of Student Rights and Responsibilities. Sexual and discriminatory misconduct will not be tolerated from members. Alrighty. Thoughts? Anyone? Kendra, if you have any comments on phrasing or grammar.
No, do you have this typed out yet?
I have this type. No, I did not. You know what? Actually, you're right. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this into the document just so that you can see it.
It's all good. It's just easier if I look at it. But it sounds great. So.
Okay. Now, is there anything? Can any of you think of anything that could be considered what we expect from members? Maybe something I forgot. I don't know. what do you all, what does everyone here as members feel like they're expected, what's expected of them? Do you feel like anything is expected of them, or expected of you? Or is there anything you feel should be expected of you?
I feel that you have it all down right now as far as expectations go.
Okay. All right, that's something I wanted to make sure. Oh, Dr. Filer, yes.
I mean, so we have in the classes the 3 out of class engagements that are more often than not mandatory. Well, that are mandatory, right? We only dropped that in the fall because we didn't know how this is going to look, right? But would it, I mean, it's also a question of how much you're going to really reinforce this at the end of the day, but maybe the requirement to at least attend or serve, you know, on one event, because I don't know. Maybe just like a mini requirement. You know what I mean? Like work 30 minutes at the bake sale at least or something, because I think that could help you also maybe draw people in a little bit more. I don't know. Or does it drive them away more because they feel now more is being put on them? And so I don't know.
That's what since we are such a small club, my main worry is putting like actual requirements on, because I feel like that might scare people away. But again, that's just me. I mean, this is I want to hear from you guys too. Is that something you guys like? Do you guys think we should require participation in any events, or maybe just require at least like come to one meeting during the semester or something like that? Or do you think, because I also know like sometimes it's difficult because I feel like when people have other clubs too, or sorority or fraternities and sororities, they also prioritize those. And I know some semesters it's just impossible for someone to make a meeting because of class schedule or work schedule. And I know that's also a bit inconsistent, where from one semester to another, it changes whether or not you're able to, students able to really come to our meetings or events. But then
simultaneously, like though, you have seen the difference of the classes not requiring the out of class engagement versus now this semester they are being required again, and I think there is a change in attendance there.
Well, then I guess we as a well, both since I think, what are your thoughts, club members? What are your thoughts? Do you I'd like to hear.
I mean, I think it would be good to have the requirement, but exactly what you said, like there was an entire semester where I couldn't make any meetings because I had class. So I don't know.
What we could do, we could say required to just attend, that it's mandatory to attend one meeting or event, because our events are a bit more flexible in what time they're at. So even if you're not able to make the meetings, you're usually able to make one of our events during the semester.
That's actually good compromise, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say to open it not just as the club meetings themselves, but also the events, because in past clubs, same thing with my class schedule. One semester I'm able to attend, the next semester I'm not because of classes and or work. So I think having it one meeting and or event.
Okay, let's see, what do we need to change here then for this? Let's see if members should participate in club meetings.
Yeah, Adam, I mean, take a note on it if you guys want to come back to it as well. You know, I don't know. I don't want to, I'm sorry, I just noticed the difference, I feel like, in like Kaffeestunde attendance and stuff, since we're requiring it again, you know, but and even if you put it in there, it does not mean that you have to stand behind people and be like, you have not been there yet. Like, that's not really what you have to do necessarily either, though.
Okay, so should we say like required then? I guess Deutschklub members Deutschklub members are required to attend at least one meeting or club event during the semester?
The word encouraged is often a nicer way of saying required.
Okay, because I know I put in, okay, yeah. So I should say, we could say Deutschklub members.
And that would be nice with the encourage, because you
are-
can't really reinforce this anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. Go, Kendra.
Okay, so how's that look? The Deutschklub members are encouraged to attend at least one meeting or event during the semester. All right, I don't think I mentioned.
You're putting
No,
all
we
this
got it
on for a reason as well. You're putting
Yeah.
it on for these members. You know what I mean? Oh, don't drop the dog.
No, he's jumping. My sister's home, I think. Okay, sorry.
You know, and I don't know, I just feel like that's just part of it, you know, to, like you said, I like the either or, you know, as you guys were suggesting. I think that's great.
Mhm.
But you know, you're doing this for each other, so I don't even think you really have to put it in there. Hopefully people have enough interest that they just come, right? I mean, that's the idea here, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. So is there anything else in that in this section that looks like that anyone has any suggestions for? Alrighty, then I think we'll go ahead and go past, finish up with Article 2. Now, Article 3 is the big one that I have. I'm not sure, honestly, I possibly could have put this into more than one article, but I just sort of put all of the stuff having to do with like organization and leadership under one category. See, so Section 1, Executive Board. Deutschklub will be led by an executive board of officers, hereafter referred to as the Vorstand. I figure that's sort of, we've always called, at least since I've been president, we've always called the Vorstand. I think that's sort of a nice thing to sort of be like, we're German club, we're Deutschklub, we have the Vorstand. Sort of a cool little thing to have. That's basically board of officers. Why is it telling me that I need to saying I need to, okay, no, that's not possessive. I don't need a comma. I don't need a comma there, do I, Kendra? It's
After the officers hereafter referred to?
yeah. Oh wait,
Oh
no.
no, the officers, you don't need an apostrophe.
Okay.
Don't
okay.
always, Google's, it doesn't know what it's doing.
Okay. It looks like a format got messed up here. Okay, so
We are suggesting that after officer we put a comma, because I think that it cannot. Try.
all right, let's. Does that look right?
Yes.
Kendra's deciding.
It works.
It works. Okay.
You don't have to, it works then.
Okay. Okay. We'll in the spirit of Germanness, we'll put in extra commas for Dr. Feiler. Alrighty. So Section 2, Offices of the Vorstand. The Deutschklub Vorstand will consist of a minimum of 4 officer positions: president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. The responsibilities of these positions are as follows. Now this is almost completely copied and pasted from our current constitution. I don't know what messed up the formatting here. That can be fixed later though. Okay. So the president will fill out and file all necessary paperwork, preside over meetings, create agendas for meetings, and share them with officers. I think there's actually a note here that Kendra left on changing the phrasing here. Okay, capitalize.
Yeah, because they're listed down below and it's a title, we'll capitalize also in the name of German.
Which...
No, like everything's capitalized in German except for what I want.
Oh, okay, okay. Alrighty, then I leave. Okay, you said, what's your suggestion? Create agendas for upcoming meetings to be shared with other officers, plan and coordinate activities. Go ahead and put that in there. Ooh. That might be why the formatting got messed up, actually. Probably me doing that. Okay. Officers, plan and preside. Was that the only change in there? That's the wrong one. You know what? I'll do that on a different time, actually. So I don't want to take up too much time here with just editing. Alrighty. The vice president will assist the president in planning, advertising, organizing social activities and fundraisers, and manage Deutschklub's social media accounts in lieu of a webmaster. The last part is something we need to talk about, but I'll do that after we get through all the positions. Megan, how does that sound? You are our vice president, so what's your input on that?
Sounds great.
An app description?
I think it's good.
Alrighty.
You'll have to capitalize president in the last paragraph though, and
Yes.
right, if you're gonna, okay.
There we go.
And same with the vice president in this paragraph.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
Should vice president be hyphenated here? Because I don't have it hyphenated before. Ooh.
It's a good question.
You can take it out.
Okay. Thank you, Kendra. Alrighty. The secretary will handle correspondence with members of the club and other organizations. She or he will assist other officers in the organization of club activities. The secretary will document the club activities through collecting and organizing announcements, memorabilia, pictures, and the like. That's another thing. I'll go ahead. Ashley, what are your thoughts on this? Actually, does it actually? I don't think it mentions doing minutes in there, which is odd because it should. What do you think, Ashley?
I think that sounds good. I think it will be nice to take the pictures,
Yeah.
for the club.
Yeah. Once we can finally be
Once
in
we
place
can.
where we can take pictures again.
Yeah.
All right. But as a note there, I need to add in take minutes. Take down minutes. I'll put a note in there, and
Adam?
I can do that later. Yes.
I actually have a question because I remember when we had our officer election, like the past one,
Yes.
that someone else was supposed to be doing my engagement or the presence stuff. But if I'm the social media person, like who does that?
That is a good question.
Because I thought somebody else was put in charge of that because I asked about it, and
well, let's.
But who's been doing it?
I mean, I haven't. What have I been doing? I don't think anyone's, at least not been putting, at least as far as I know, my engagement hasn't really been updated with anything. I know last semester who did we, I'll see if it's under, it could be under I'll see if it's under the officer responsibilities thing we put together. I remember where we stick to that. Let's see. Videos, pictures, attendance. Center club documents. Officer responsibilities. Okay.
It's under secretary.
Okay. That is listed under secretary. And I remember we were having trouble with that because Ashley couldn't access the My Engagement. It would not let her access the admin dashboard. So Ashley, what are your thoughts on that? Go ahead.
I haven't tried to access My Engagement since the last time we were having issues with it, but I could try again and let you know. And if I am able to, or if we're able to figure it out, I can put events in.
Okay.
after now.
Okay. That would work fine then. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. I am gonna add that in here because I don't want to forget that. Okay. Ashen an organization. He, she, he lists other offices and organization club activities. He will take minutes during club meetings and upload them to let's see. I guess we probably is that. I'm gonna have to look at the My Engagement to see how it's set up because it is a bit different than the old My Engagement system. Like from what I could tell, you couldn't really like create files or anything. So like if you upload any documents, it just uploads them onto just one long list. And if I feel like if we were to do minutes on there, that probably would be a bit much, especially for people just looking at the club. I say upload them to Teams. I mean, I hope people really keep using the Teams in the future. Upload them to Microsoft. Might go back to that a bit later. And the secretary will enter events into the My Engagement system. I'll make it look nice later. Just want so we don't forget that we had that there. Alrighty. Formatting all that's all screwed up anyway. Okay. Activities, secretarial document. Okay, and then treasurer. The treasurer will manage all club finances, keeping accurate records of profits and expenditures, and informing the club of these matters. The treasurer is responsible for paying the club's registration fee in the fall semester. Okay. Now, what I was wondering is, I know we had talked about adding positions and then decided to sort of just sort of blend those in with the 4 officer positions. Now, I didn't know because that's sort of this part at the end of vice president in lieu of a webmaster. Should we just go ahead and leave things like that, or like, well, really at the end here of the secretary, the whole collecting and organizing announcements, memorabilia, pictures, should we leave those just as part of those positions, or create almost a secondary or tertiary officer position that doesn't necessarily need to be filled of webmaster or historian? I just didn't know because I'm always looking positively toward the future of growing more people. But what do you think? That's just a thought I had. It might not really even be that practical. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'll shut up now.
As of now, with the club size being so small, I think leaving it as is. If it grows and gets bigger, hopefully it does, then those officers can add more as they see fit.
Okay.
So like in North Dakota Radio, like we actually did that is we put like positions available like that in our constitution, but as of now we don't have anyone filling them, so it's definitely something that can work. Like it doesn't hurt anything.
Okay. Because that was my thinking of that, as be nice to have them in the Constitution. That way, when it comes around, like if someone, maybe they don't want to have like the responsibility of like president or secretary or treasurer, which are a bit more, and maybe would just prefer like just something like just taking care of social media, it would also help that way. It takes pressure off of other officers, but just having it in the Constitution so that it's there. I know I see your point though too, Kendra. It could just be something we can add that can be added later on.
honestly, the future's unknown, so don't even worry about it. Like, I mean, worry about the future, but like, don't, you know?
Okay, Megan, in the North Code radios, like, so these positions aren't filled. Are officers like? Do you just go ahead and like pick up the responsibilities that would be delegated to those positions, or how does that work?
So it's a little unclear with at least one of them, because one of them has to do with like filming, and right now we can't do that because of COVID.
Mhm.
So we have like someone that's in charge of directing like concerts that we hold, but they don't really do anything right now. And then like the other one that we don't have like anyone assigned to is also like a social media person. But right now, like all of our e-board members have the login for the social media, and we'll just post like any one of us like posts if we want to. So
Okay, so it's just sort of
it's just like a really like free flowing kind of thing, but we still get people to post all the time. So
okay. So do you think it would be of any benefit if we listed those positions, even though I have a feeling they're probably not going to be filled much, at least not for. Okay, you know what? Well, yeah, we can leave that out. That was just an idea, and I wanted to see what you all thought of it. So we can, in that case, I'll get rid of in lieu of a webmaster. Just sort of leave that as the responsibilities of those positions. Alrighty. So how does that look? Is there anything you guys think of adding to any of the position responsibilities?
I guess like the only thing I have to say with like the my engagement thing is like, are we still calling it my engagement? Because I know like a lot of people are just calling it presence.
Honestly,
I
I
don't know if
call
it
it
matters.
I call it presence most of the time, but they do still call it like NKU. They still call it my engagement, which I think is a bit weird. I don't know why they didn't just say, hey, we're calling it presence now. Just say, but no, it is technically called my engagement. Maybe they're just doing that for consistency too, just in case it does change again. That way people don't have to change in their constitutions when they do say like insert into my engagement, they don't have to change all that.
It could be too that they just don't want to do advertisement for the company, you know.
As also a possibility. Okay, I'll fix that later. I'm sorry. That formatting's just really screwed up and I don't know why. Alrighty. So if there's nothing more on the officer positions, do qualifications for officer positions. All officer candidates must be official members of Deutschklub and be in good academic standing. A candidate must also express a strong interest in German culture, language, and/or Deutschklub activities and operation. So basically, you're in the German club, you're in good academic standing, which is a university requirement, and you have an interest in German. So basically, the requirement for being in German club, more or less, to begin with. Oh, you know what? Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's basically, we don't really have any. Is there any requirement that we should have? I mean, okay. I mean, when it comes to age, I mean, you're already going to be a sophomore when you can run for a term anyway, because we do at the end of the semester, so a freshman couldn't be elected an officer anyway, which maybe that is something to think about changing if we did want to have opened that up. Okay. Vorstand election and terms. A Vorstand election meeting should be held as the last meeting of the spring semester. Deutschklub's faculty advisor and current Vorstand members should all be in attendance. A minimum of 5 club members, including but not limited to current officers and faculty advisor, are required in order to hold an election. The order in which officers are elected are as follows: President, Vice President, Treasurer, Secretary. Before voting on a position, all candidates should make themselves known and give a brief statement as to why they are running or are suited for that position. Once a president is elected, candidates who lost a vote are allowed to run for vice president. Likewise, losing vice president candidates may run for treasurer and so on. Once a candidate is elected to an officer position, they may not run for any of the other three Vorstand offices. See, and am I right in thinking you had something here, Kendra? Take out why they are running for. Okay, that is redundant. Once a president has been elected, candidates are not selected may run for open positions. That would be a lot more concise than what I have there. I'm just gonna copy and paste. Alrighty, voting is to be anonymous by ballot. Candidates may participate in the vote. To vote, each member will receive a piece of paper upon which they will write the name in print of the candidate they would like to elect. If for any reason this method of voting is not possible, another method may be used if agreed upon by 2/3 of the voting members. Okay, here, 2/3. 2/3 or 1/2, because it doesn't specify, at least for this. I mean, it's also not something that would probably happen outside of Corona time. That's why I put that part in here, because this method of voting was not possible for this year. So do you guys think just a simple half would be more suited, or do you think 2/3? I know it's nitpicky, but just want to see what you think. Thumbs up if it's fine as 2/3. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go by visual cues. Alrighty. To be elected into an officer position, a candidate must receive a majority vote from attending members. If there are more than 2 candidates running and none receive the majority vote, the candidate with the least votes will be disqualified, and the vote will be held again among the remaining candidates. This should continue until a candidate has received a majority vote. So that's basically saying you can't become president with a plurality. And at least when it comes to voting methods, that's what I thought, what seems to be the fairest. The term for each officer shall be 1 full academic year, starting in the fall semester after elections are held and lasting until the elections meeting at the end of the following spring semester. Hey, Kendra, fall semester, spring semester, do those have to be capitalized, or was that my...
No, because in America, we don't see the seasons as important things. But if you're doing like poetry, you can do it to give it extra meaning.
Okay. Okay.
You can do
intro to your English minor, by the way.
all of my grammar in English is what I want. I don't follow any real rules.
Hey, that's sort of what I've been doing in German. If Dr. Feiler might have noticed. I'm just kidding. Although I do accidentally create my own words sometimes, and on the way you're supposed to create words.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing in German. You get away with it a lot.
Yeah.
Just put an S in the middle between them, just to glue them together. It's like, you're good to go.
And that's why I do. Like, for some reason, I always get potato wrong. For some reason, my brain wants to just say potato and potaten, because it's tomato and tomaten.
From
So
all things,
potato.
the basic food group of German.
Oh, okay.
That was like one of the first words I actually learned. Was which is a little funny. Okay, sorry.
You're good. You're good. We need a little break of just me talking, speaking, reading aloud. Alrighty, let's see, elections held. Alrighty, so what do you guys, does that seem like a fair way to hold our elections? That's pretty much that's how I remember us doing it the last time we had a normal election. And then the only thing I really added was the voting, this paragraph, the second to last paragraph about what happens if there's a tie. Did I put that in here? Oh no, the majority vote thing. That's what I put in there just to make sure we don't have any plurality winners. I'm not a believer in plurality winners. Okay. Removal of an officer. An officer will be removed from their position if they are no longer in good academic standing, university requirement, if they are not fulfilling the officer responsibilities listed in Article 3, Section 2 of this Constitution, or if they intentionally and or maliciously violate the discrimination policy detailed in Article 2, Section 2 of this Constitution. I think that's pretty clear. If you can't do the officer responsibilities, shouldn't be an officer. If you're discriminating, also probably should not be an officer. See, any member in good academic standing, excluding the president, may make the motion to remove an officer. Again, in good academic standing, you have to be in good academic standing to vote according to the RSO manual. That's why that's there. Excluding the president may, a good member excluding the president may make the motion to remove an officer. That's another, well, actually, no, that's not a manual. Remove an officer. If the motion is seconded, they will explain why that officer should be removed, and then the accused officer may give a defense. The club should then deliberate the matter before taking an anonymous vote by ballot. Attending members should either vote yes, the officer should be removed, or no, the officer should not be removed. At least 2/3 of the voting members must vote yes for the officer to be removed. If the officer is removed for violating the discrimination policy, they are also subject to disciplinary action as a club member and may face expulsion from the Deutschklub. Okay. This is an important one, so I really like to hear your thoughts on this. Does that sound like a fair way, a fair method of removing, not why an officer should be removed, but the method to how it would be enacted? I thought be fair is that the president's not supposed. A president isn't supposed to make motions, so that's why I put that in there. I thought it would be prudent. Okay. So we good? Sorry, I like thumbs up. So if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be great. All righty. Thank you.
I think it's fair.
Thank you, Mildred. All righty. Section 5, stepping down of an officer. Stepping down of an officer. That should be hyphenated, shouldn't it, Kendra? Should that be hyphenated?
I mean, it's one action, but the point is clear.
Okay.
So you're good. You could also put like the resignation of an officer.
Resignation. That sounds more official and nice and a lot less clunky than stepping down of an officer. Wait, what did you say?
Resignation.
Resignation. Okay. For some reason, all I could think of after you said it was not resignation, but registration. I was like, that's not the right word. Resignation of an officer. Okay. If an officer decides they are unable to effectively carry out their role, they may choose to step down from their position. They should notify and discuss this with the Vorstand and Deutschklub's faculty advisor before formally stepping down at the next Deutschklub meeting.
So step down is great for the first one, but for the stepping down, since you have resignation, I should
change it
formally
to resignation.
Resign.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's do step down. That's the only other time I said. Okay. And then midterm vacancies. For if someone steps down or gets booted. Should a Vorstand member be removed or step down from their position? I'm gonna have to change that because I say that, repeat that many times, don't I? Or resign from their position as an officer, the following action shall be taken. An emergency election will be scheduled before the next scheduled German Club meeting, but it must take place at least 1 week after the meeting in which the officer was removed or stepped down. Until that time, the vice president should take over any responsibilities held by the vacant position. If the vice president, him, herself, who has been removed, okay, if it is the vice president, him or herself, who has been removed, resigned, the president shall assume his or her duties.
You
I
can do
think you can
themselves
take
instead of,
out. Oh,
I'm sorry.
no, you're good. I was gonna say I think you could just take that out completely, but it doesn't really matter. Either one of those.
Oh yeah, I don't need to say, I don't need that at all, do I? If it is the vice president who has been removed or resigned, the president shall assume his. That's a lot less clunky too. Kendra? Sorry, good. Okay. See, if for any reason an emergency election cannot be held before the next scheduled meeting, the election will be held during the next scheduled meeting. The vice president should take over any responsibilities held by the vacant position during the next meeting. If it is the vice president who has been removed or resigned, I had to just repeat myself so many times, didn't I? Resigned, the president shall assume his or her duties during the meeting. Removed, has been removed, resigned. That's what I need to put there. Okay. In an emergency election, the voting process should proceed in the same way as a regular election, parentheses, in Article 3, Section 4. That's where it describes how the elections are run. Okay. How does that sound? Great. Thank you for the thumbs up. Alrighty, see, removal of an else. Did I go up? I went up. Okay. Midterm Vorstand, that's what we just read. Transfer of powers. Transfer of powers. Okay. I have another one little thingy on that somewhere here. Let me copy and paste it out. I'm not even sure. Did I finish this? We'll see. Well, it's something. It's more than nothing, so. Alrighty. See. So this is basically more of just like saying officers should tell the new officers what they're supposed to be doing and sort of help them with the transition. If possible, outgoing club officers should meet with newly elected officers and go over their responsibilities before their term begins in the fall semester. If the outgoing officer is for any reason unavailable, the faculty advisor and or incumbent club president should go over the responsibilities with the new officer. Incoming officers should review the club constitution as well as the most updated version of the registered student organization manual. The faculty advisor should make sure all officers know how to access a copy of this constitution and the registered student organization manual. I put there, I mentioned faculty advisor in there a few times, so is what I put there, because I know, I'm pretty sure, honestly, I might. Does that sound good? Thumbs up? Okay. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's literally just talking about officers help the next officer. That way they aren't going in blind and all the responsibility isn't thrown on Dr. Filer for telling them what they're supposed to be doing. Alrighty, committees. Why picking committees? Okay, that was just saying if German Club ever is big enough to require committees, they can create one through the amending process. That's just so that when people are reading the Constitution in the future and we are bigger, they'll see, oh, that's something we can do, just in case they don't. Yeah. Alrighty. Alrighty, special committees. This one honestly might be completely unnecessary, but it sort of outlines what we already do, just sort of gives the name of special committee. A special committee may be formed to delegate responsibilities left unspecified in this constitution. This may include the organization of a specific event or function, running a project, or carrying out a certain task. The method for choosing the members of a special committee is left to the discretion of the club. Any active member in good academic standing may be chosen to be the head of a committee. The club may choose either one member to head the committee or two members to collaborate on equal terms. From that point, it is left to the discretion of the committee heads to choose members to work on their committee. That is if the committee's purposes require extra assistance. Now, this is mainly just saying, so like when we put, I don't know, when we put Megan in charge of making the flyer, you say, oh, you're the, I don't know, the head of our advertisement committee. I don't know. It gives you a fancy name. And if for any reason you could put that on any sort of official thing, you can be like, hey, I was the head of this committee instead of just this special committee, instead of just saying I made a flyer. Sounds pretty, Dr. Filer?
Yeah, may I recommend to use the term chair of the committee rather than head of the
Head.
committee?
Yes. Chair. Okay, where do I say head in any other point? Can you use chair? Can chair be used as a verb? As a one member to chair the committee? Can that?
They would need to be appointed.
Either one member to be, the club may choose either one member to be appointed chair of
And you can
the
take
committee.
out either.
The club may choose one member to be appointed chair of the committee or two members to collaborate on equal terms. Okay. Or this would also, actually, no, this would be a better description to say Damien being put in charge of doing the Kino Abend. That would be sort of be a special committee, him setting that all up. And so he could say yeah. Okay, when I was writing that, that's actually what I was thinking of. Alrighty. So does that sound like a good idea? Does that sound good to y'all? Great. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, it's 6 o'clock. Does any would anyone be are you guys willing to stay just a little longer to see if we can at least finish out this article? It's a long one. Does anyone have to leave? No? Okay. Then we're going to finish this article out real quick. Okay, faculty advisor. This one's Dr. Filer's. Here, all right. If Deutschklub's faculty advisor should quit, retire.
It's not mine. So if you look at it, this is based on, go ahead, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
So okay, this part at the bottom, that's from the student manual, right? Okay. And I just want to say I changed one thing, and that's just because the 2019-2020 manual changed it slightly. Literally all they changed is I think they took two of the points and combined it into 1 point. And I already changed that in there. I can't remember what it was. It was one that has to do with lunch or something. Had lunch in there for some reason. Okay, yeah, number 6. It was 6 and 7. These two sentences were different in the first,
I remember, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they were combined in the recent version. And then I just changed the link at the bottom to describing where it came from up there, just because links, at least I've learned from looking at past documents, do not work in these, because it's like all the time whenever it looks like, oh, error.
Oh yeah, no, I just had included it so you guys could see where I got it from. Like that was just so you guys could see I didn't just like pull it out of thin air. It had a source. That's all it was.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So then the first part, which is this was my addition for describing what we should do when Frau Jens retired. A process just for in the far future. We hope to have Dr. Filer a long time. If Deutschklub's faculty advisor should quit, retire, or in any way become unable to remain faculty advisor, a new advisor should be chosen and reported to the Office for Student Engagement as soon as possible. When considering a new faculty advisor, the club should first consider faculty directly involved in the German program. If there is no viable faculty advisor involved in the German program, the club should then consider other faculty in the World Language Literature department. If a candidate is found, they should be invited to attend a scheduled club meeting or a special meeting in order to discuss Deutschklub's and the potential advisor's expectations. If a candidate is chosen, they will be made a faculty advisor of Deutschklub. Should more than one candidate for the faculty advisor be chosen, the club will vote. The candidate with the majority vote will be made a faculty advisor of Deutschklub. The following list of responsibilities for faculty advisor are drawn from chapter 6. That's just describing where it came from. Alrighty, and is at the end of this. All right, and you all can read that. I think that's like from the manual. So like we don't really have much of a choice. This is what the faculty advisor is supposed to do. So if you're interested about what Dr. Feiler's responsibilities are, you can read this long list. That's a lot. Alrighty, and that's the rest of this article.
Make it easy because you guys rock. So you make it all very easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So that's all. We can either end the meeting now or keep going. I don't know. I mean, does anyone need to leave? I'll just say that.
I can stay a little.
Alrighty. Because I just know we only have one actual more meeting, and at this point I'm thinking we might not finish this semester at my speed. I'm sorry if that's just me. I just want to make sure we're going for thorough. It's a big thing. Alrighty. Meetings. Section 1, when meetings should be held. Meetings are to at least be held on the first Thursday of one of the month during the spring and fall semesters. Okay, that sounds a bit clunky to me. Does that make sense?
So it makes sense, but if you just put meetings should be held on the first Tuesday of the month, it means the same thing as at least be held.
Should be held on the first Thursday of I should probably put each month, right? On the first Thursday of each month during the spring and fall semesters. In January, the first meeting may be held either the first or second week of classes, since we're not there the first Thursday of the month. Alrighty. Oh, and then it is up to, oh no, I didn't read the whole thing, did I? Okay, the Vorstand election meeting should be held the week before finals in the spring semester. The exact time of the meeting should remain consistent throughout the semester. This is splitting up. That should be here. Did I screw things up? Okay. Because it should say that right after it tells you it should be held every month. Okay, the Vorstand election meeting should be held the week before finals in the spring semester. It is up to the Vorstand. Actually, no, that should be at the complete end of the sentence, shouldn't it? Because that's addressing something more or less completely different. Alrighty. It is up to the Vorstand faculty advisor to set a fixed meeting time for the semester. That's sort of how we did it this semester. We met beforehand. We said, okay, it's going to be on Thursdays. And then we just picked a time so that all the officers would be able to attend. Does that sound fair? Alrighty. Section 2, quorum. That's a new word I learned while writing this. Quorum. To hold a Deutschklub meeting, there must be at least 5 members present. These members may include officers and faculty advisors. So that's basically saying if it ends up just being the 4 officers and the faculty advisor, then we're good to go. Any less than that, I feel like we're probably not. That means an officer isn't there first off, and that also means probably not getting full voice. Okay. Section 3, unscheduled emergency meetings. Okay, this one also might be a bit unnecessary. This is more just describing specifically how meetings should be scheduled if they're not our scheduled meeting, which I'm not sure we will ever actually need, but this is, An unscheduled meeting is a meeting not scheduled or confirmed during a club meeting. A date and time for an unscheduled meeting should be decided on by the Vorstand and faculty advisor. Members should be given at least 2 weeks notice before an unscheduled meeting. An emergency meeting is a meeting that must be held to take a vote regarding an urgent issue which can neither wait until the next scheduled meeting nor an unscheduled meeting. So it means it needs to be voted on within the next 2 weeks. Deutschklub members must be given 1 week's notice before the date an emergency meeting is to be held. To hold an emergency meeting, the 4 members of the Vorstand should agree the matter is an emergency. This might include an emergency use of club funds or disciplinary action against a member or officer. If the meeting is for disciplinary action against an officer, 3 officers and the faculty advisor must agree to the meeting. An emergency meeting is not an emergency election and is therefore held by different restrictions listed by different restriction is to be held, that's not right, is to be held apart from the restrictions listed in Article 3, Section 5 of this Constitution, is therefore held
to? I don't know.
different
Mm.
restrictions by different, yeah, held to different restrictions held by now under different restrictions. Okay, I'm going to do under. Is therefore held under different restrictions than those listed in article. Does that make more sense now? I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't know what I'm thinking when I wrote these. All right, so does that make sense? I know this was a big one and I'm not 100% sure if it is totally necessary, but again, one of those being nitty picky, wanting to make sure there is something for, yeah. If for any reason it is impossible to meet on a standard meeting date because of a holiday, closed campus, or other extraneous factor, a different date and time should be chosen before the end of the previous Deutschklub meeting, like we did today, saying April 8th instead of the 1st. Should both the president and vice president, or should more than half of the Vorstand, including the faculty advisor, be unable to attend a standard meeting, the meeting should be rescheduled before the end of the previous meeting. Am I saying meeting too much? If the meeting has already adjourned, the standard meeting will be canceled and an unscheduled meeting will be called as described in paragraph 1 of this section. Does this make sense? I feel like it's a bit jumbled.
It does to me.
That is good. That's good. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it
my
makes
brain's
sense.
not crazy.
Don't second guess yourself. You're doing great.
Okay.
There's 2 things. I gotta find it. Okay, at the very top where it says section 3, there's only 1 word uncapitalized besides the article. Should you capitalize that meeting, or is that a lot of capitalization?
Wait, I'm sorry, where? Is it?
In the title of the section. Section 3, unscheduled, comma. Yeah. And then if for any reason, comma, should that comma even be there? I'm sorry, I'm just,
no, you're good. Okay, so you're
this
talking
isn't that important, but like, right.
Unscheduled.
If for any reason. Yeah.
Yeah, the comma's not needed there.
Okay, that's for you. Okay, now I see it. Okay,
that was it. Everything else makes sense.
All right, so what were you saying about the title and unscheduled emergency meetings and moving meeting dates?
It's already fixed.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, again, feel free to correct any grammatical mistakes as long as you mention it just to make sure it's okay. Yeah, but yeah, because I know that I've seen you, Megan, and I've seen you doing that, so like, yeah, that's good because it takes us time. Okay, now I'm wasting the time that'll be saved. Alrighty, meeting procedure. Meeting procedure, the president should preside over all Deutschklub's meetings and have made an agenda shared in advance with the rest of the Vorstand and the faculty advisor. The president, as she is presiding over the meeting, may not make or second any motions. However, she may participate in voting as a member. The president should also have on hand an updated paper or digital copy of Deutschklub's constitution and a method with which to keep notes. Meeting procedures should be conducted as follows. This is basically, I copy and pasted the agenda format I have and just did descriptions of each of the sections. What was I going to say about this? Something about the president presiding over the meetings. Okay, voting. Now saying oh goodness me. Okay, so presidents usually aren't supposed to vote unless it's to either break a tie or if the president can cause a tie. That's something I also learned while writing this. But never mind, that's why I chose not to put it in there, because the president is still technically allowed to vote. It's just sort of more of a custom thing that presidents don't vote unless it affects the outcome of the vote. Okay, just want to put, that's why that's there. By the club president. See, I'm gonna finish this real quick. So I'm going to skip that bit. We can go back if we don't have time. We're out of time. We're way out of time. Alrighty, this procedure should be reflected in the agenda made and distributed by the president before the meeting. I just did that because that is sort of the format, so I figured probably be good to let the president know this is what the agenda generally should take the shape of. Goodness. Okay. Voting in meetings for Vorstand elections, see Article 3, Section 4. That's the part detailing, we just went over that, detailing Vorstand elections. If it is determined by Deutschklub that a vote should be taken, a member should make a motion. She should begin this motion with, I make the motion that Deutschklub, so and so on, and then state exactly what is being voted on. Another member may at this point second the motion by saying, I second that motion. If the motion is seconded, the president will then say, all those in favor of, insert the proposition made in the motion, say aye. All present club members in favor will then say aye. Actually, that's the wrong aye, because that's not I like I. It's supposed to be I like I, ain't it? Alrighty. Along with a visual sign of affirmation. That might have just been me Zoom tired. Wanting some visual sign of affirmation. Alrighty, namely the raising of their hand. If a simple majority votes positively, the motion passes. If the motion does not pass, the motion will fail, and the same motion may not be made again in that meeting, excluding the exceptions listed in the following paragraph. Exceptions. There are 2 votes which must be taken in every meeting. First, a vote must be taken to accept the minutes from the previous meeting. Ooh, we did not do that, did we? It's okay, it's not in our constitution yet. If the vote fails to pass, the necessary edits must be made to the minutes and the vote taken again. This should continue until the minutes are accepted. Second, a vote must be taken to adjourn the meeting. If it fails, the club will discuss why the meeting did not end, resolve any issues, and take the vote again. This should continue until the vote passes and the meeting is adjourned. Sorry, I have not taken that vote yet. Alrighty, the president may not make or second any motions. Nor may he or she vote under under normal circumstances. That's contradicting what I said earlier. I have to fix that. There are 3 exceptions where a president may vote. First, if the vote is tied, she may break the tie. Second, if her vote would create a tie, the president may vote to make the vote a tie. Third, if the president may vote in an anonymous votes by ballot, such as a method used for officer elections described in Article 30, Section 4. That's for an impartiality thing. The president's not supposed to be partial toward anything, so that's why they vote in secret ballots, because it's not pushing anything in one direction, which I think I probably sort of do all right now anyway, but as I said, it's not in the Constitution yet, so it's okay. So thoughts on this, anything listed in these 3 or 4 bulky paragraphs, 3 bulky paragraphs.
After you fix the contradiction, I think you're fine.
After I fix the contradiction?
Oh, yeah, and yes. I went ahead and highlighted that section so it won't be forgotten.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with
I'll fix it
as well, and I really like how thorough it is, and I think that's super helpful, and it's going to create a lot of consistency. I think that's great.
Okay, so that's my goal. Or I should say our goal. That's our goal, consistency. Alrighty. And then I don't even have, these are not really filled out yet. So we might just leave those for the next meeting. I might say, would it be a problem if we went ahead and said the next meeting, do an hour-and-a-half meeting? That way we can get done with the rest of the Constitution and not worry about that. Might even be able to vote. You know, at our election meeting, it might be prudent to like double up and do an election meeting, constitutional voting meeting, because that way we can finish editing up in the next meeting, and then that let the whole club see, give their thoughts. If they have any problems, they can address them, and then if for some reason the Constitution does not pass, we can just deal with that this fall, because at that point I'm sure we'll all be sick of this. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah. I do want to mention I have 2 more articles that have not been that I haven't like typed out yet. Well, actually, I have the amending process. I have that partially typed out, but that's basically amending process and then club dissolution. Don't let that scare you. That's what we have to have that according to the student manual. We have to have a way for how the club should be dismantled if we choose, and what to do with any funds or anything left over. And we can discuss that later on. Alrighty, so now I'll give you guys the out, and actually no, Dr. Fowler, you look like you're about to say something. Were you about to say something, or did I? Okay, never mind. Sorry. Alrighty, would anyone like to make any closing thoughts? I'm guessing that's a no. I'm going to take that as a no since we're running on time. I don't think we didn't do the Wehrmacht was, but I'm pretty sure all we have basically going on is, well, we have faculty lectures. We have faculty lectures. Those are very soon. I think I literally completely skipped over those. Oh no, we talked about the flyer. Okay, I'll be sending out the information for that soon once we get the flyer anyway. So I don't really think that anything needs to be said here already. Yep, we're good. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
That is lovely, Ashley. And
I will second that motion.
thank you. All in favor of adjourning this meeting of the Deutschklub, say aye or give an affirmation like thumbs up or something so I can see on the screen.
Aye.
See, 1,
Aye.
2, 3.
And thumbs up.
Alrighty, looks like we got a majority. Okay, good. Alrighty, then this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Kendra, I know we went over. Do you still have time to talk about the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I was gonna see if you wanted me to just stay on the Zoom here.
Yeah, that's what I figured probably be easiest. Alrighty. So, goodbye. Nice seeing everyone. We'll have to do.
Thanks for great meeting, Adam.
Yes, great job, Adam.
Yeah, and I really like how you laid it all out. It's
Me
gonna
too.
be
Thank you.
super helpful.
Stop screen sharing.
I would maybe consider one thing. Maybe I can show you, if you don't mind, if you have 1 second before I like slither off back into
Sure.
my cave.
I can stop recording now.